It's time now for the Athlete of the Week here on Mid-Minnesota Sports, and with us today's Melrose three-sport athlete. This is Kayla Austing, and she's going to talk about what she's been up to. You've been busy, haven't you?
Yes, I have.
Yes. Just off the state gymnastics meet, how many times have you been there?
I have been there. My first year was in 7th grade, and I competed on the vault.
Mm-hmm. All right.
And this year I competed everything, so...
You know, as you do that and go down to the state meet, can you give us a sense as to when you walk into the building and you see everything going on, what are some of the things that you see?
Well, we are the first class to compete there, so there's not much going on, just people cleaning the equipment and all that stuff. But that first time that you walk in, your emotions start running and you just get a rush. And it's really fun just being there and just seeing all the crowd, the fans, and yeah.
As you compete then, how do you control your breathing?
I've kind of learned how to control it, and throughout the years it's gotten easier, but I really just have to think to myself like deep breaths and it's just like at practice, and that really helps me a lot.
Here's something else I want to ask you. It seems so nerve-wracking to me. You're standing there waiting for the judge to give you the nod, right?
Yep.
How nervous is that? And then once they do say, okay, you go ahead, how do you focus? What do you think of?
Yeah, actually waiting for the flag to go up or for you to start your routine is almost more nerve-wracking than actually doing your routine. But it's easy for me to control. I just have to think of calming myself down.
Mm-hmm. Gymnastics is also a sport, too. To when you were in 7th grade, were you doing some things then, and then as your body changes and you had to adjust? How is it now then compared to then?
Yeah, for sure. If you're not in shape, gymnastics is a very tough sport to work at and control. But throughout the years, you just like repetition and all that practice, it makes it easier.
Mm-hmm. But again, your body changes as you start to get older. Does that become a factor for you that you then have to decide on some different routines?
Yeah, it does. It affects how you perform, but it's something that you just kind of have to get used to and adjust to.
There was something else that you dealt with, too, with the gymnastics team, not only injuries, but more or less with your family. And we really should have started out with your family, too. Tell us about who is in your family.
Yeah, I have one sister who is a junior, and her name is Whitney. And I have a mom and a dad named Dick and Jane.
Mm-hmm. And with your dad, take us through that story, okay?
Yeah, in December, he had a seizure, and he was rushed to the hospital. And they found a tumor in his head that was about the size of a baseball. So he was able to come home for Christmas, and then the following Monday he was scheduled for surgery to have it removed. So the surgery was 13 hours long, and when he was out of surgery, they sent him into ICU, and his left side, he wasn't able to speak very well, and it was kind of mumbly, and his left side was not able to move. And he knew something was wrong because he would try to point to his left side. So he was mentally there, just not physically. So then he spent about a week in ICU, and he would get better every day, but it was still a bit of a struggle. And then we found out that he had about 6 areas of stroke in his brain, and that was pretty hard for us to handle. But he moved to inpatient rehab, and then he was in the hospital from the day of his surgery for 50 days, and he was released home, and now he's doing outpatient therapy.
Mm-hmm. So with all of that, then, how did you stay focused with what you had to do? Because that's all in front of you. What did you all talk about?
Well, it was like kind of prime time gymnastics season, so I did miss a couple of practices during that week that it happened, but I think it really kind of was a turning point for me because it gave me inspiration. It inspired me a little bit and motivated me more than brought me down. So
All right. So how's he doing now?
Good. Yeah, he's able to walk with a cane and with some help, but therapy it's pretty much all we can do right now.
Okay. So is it going to be at softball?
Oh yeah,
Yeah?
he's able to. He was at the U of M this weekend, so
Okay.
yeah.
Excellent. I want to bring up your sister too, because your sister plays basketball. So I guess my question is why is she playing basketball and not in gymnastics, or why are you not in basketball?
Yeah, I actually started gymnastics about 9 years ago, and I guess I never really thought of basketball. Laurel Oberg actually is the one that put me in the program, and she's like, this girl needs to do gymnastics, and she'll be amazing one day. So I have to give a lot of credit to her for putting me in this sport. Whitney was in gymnastics for a few days, and after that, she just ended up quitting. And she joined basketball a couple of years ago only, so.
But
she's
she
come
likes that though.
Yeah, she's come a long way.
Yeah. You know, as an average fan, you watch gymnastics. I don't know the first thing about judging. We can go to a softball game and yell at the ump and all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. But what are some of the things, say, for example, this last weekend, to where you had the team competition with your vault and then your individual? What are the differences then in the scores? It's got to be something small.
Yeah, it's pretty much based on the judges. It all depends on what judges you get. And down at the U of M, the city judges are typically harder and lower scoring than the ones that we get for dual meets or stuff like that.
So again, point to something after you're done. I mean, we can all see if you fall off the beam and you go, oh no.
Yeah.
Or you take an extra step on your landing. But there's got to be much more than that.
Yeah, it's anything as little as a flexed foot or not pointed toes. It's a deduction. So, I mean, every little thing counts in gymnastics.
It seems to me you've got some great teammates. There's a lot of cheering, there's a lot of hugging, a lot of support.
Yeah.
Can you talk about some of your teammates and how that affects you too?
Yeah, this year I feel like we're a really close team, and especially the last couple weeks of the season, we've grown a lot closer. Maddie Brinkman and Trisha Tom, and then Courtney Heinze, she's our manager, but we're the 4 seniors of the group, and I feel like we're all really good friends. Like, we talk in school, we have classes together, and I think that plays a big part in being so close on the team. And then Lauren Kingston is our captain and our junior on the team, and she's a unique one, but she brings so much happiness to the gym and the team just with her bubbly attitude and all of that jazz. And then we have Greta and Cameron also on the team.
As you look at just within your team itself and the competition there, just to crack the lineup more or less, how does that motivate you then too?
Yeah, I don't know. It's pretty, I don't know.
Everybody's pretty good at it, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you have to play on that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm sure there's, as you were a young gymnast too, that some of the older girls too that you looked up to. Can you name some of those?
Yeah, Haley Brinkman, and her sisters are still a part of the program, so she's always there kind of supporting us too. And I was in 7th grade when it was her senior year, and she really was the one that helped me through vault at state, and she really has changed me and made me a better gymnast too.
So we've talked a lot about gymnastics, but you also play volleyball, softball. Can I ask you about those sports too? And
Yeah.
what do you like about those sports? Let's start with volleyball. 19-17. The set goes to 25. You have to win by 2. The serve just got across, hit by Austing. Minnewaska goes this side. Versteg, cross-court shot, dug out nicely by Austing. She got it. She's quick. Fredericks will hit it through the block and she'll score.
Volleyball, I like playing the sport in general. It's an intense sport, and I mean, I have a lot of fun playing it, but the girls on the team this past year have been really awesome to spend time with, and it's made the sport fun.
And then softball too, because you excel at that. What about softball? Brooke Gillespie, a junior right-hander, throws a pitch, hit well to center field. It's carrying deep in that wind. It's going to roll to the fence. A run comes in, Bitts scores, and they're going to hold it up at third base on a double for Melrose. Hit by Kayla Austing. She's 2 for 2, and Melrose scores as Bitts crosses.
Yeah, we have softball coming up here, so I'm excited for that. The thing I like most about it is just being outside and in the fresh air again and springtime and just getting back into the summer mode a little bit.
And getting back to gymnastics, is that a year-round thing for you?
No, not for me, but a lot of girls can compete year-round and train year-round. But I mean, I had a lot of success with training how much I did, and I would rather split up different sports.
You
So-
seem to me to be an athlete that whatever the season is, you're ready to go, right?
Yeah. I like all my sports that I do, so.
All right. And in school, too, what kind of subjects do you care for?
I do like the math field a little bit. It's a little bit harder for me, but a challenge is always okay. English is not bad. I like that too. But
Do you feel it difficult then, too, for as an athlete playing three sports? Is it hard to balance off then doing your good schoolwork, too?
yeah, it is a little bit challenging, but throughout the years you learn kind of how to deal with it and how to work it with your teachers a little bit too.
I've got some quick questions for you. You ready?
Sure.
All right. If we put on your headphones, what are we listening to before a meet?
Country.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Now, I've had other ones say, oh, no country. Now, why is that?
I don't know. I think it just has to do with where I live a little bit. I live out in the country, and the words are kind of inspiring to me.
So who do you like?
Oh, gosh.
All of them?
Yeah, they're all fine.
All right. So you hang out with who? Who are some of your friends?
Actually, I hang out with the gymnastics team a lot, and Taryn Van Heel a little bit. But, yeah, Maddie Brinkman, Greta, Lauren, pretty much the gymnastics team.
All right. So when the group's together and you want to go out and get something to eat, where do you go and what do you get?
Well, a lot of us go to Jimmy John's and get subs. This past weekend, we went to Dairy Queen a couple times and got chicken strips and wraps and blizzards.
All right. Okay. I've watched this movie a million times.
The Heat.
No, I don't know that one. What is it?
It's about, I don't really know how to explain it, but it's a comedy, so
Okay.
yeah.
But as a kid, though, you didn't grow up on that one.
No.
As a kid, what did you watch?
The Lion King.
Okay.
Yeah.
Me too. I mean, with our kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good one, though. All right. You like playing video games?
No,
You
not
know,
really.
Is that more of a guy thing?
It seems like it.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Can you cook anything that's good?
Sometimes.
Like what?
I can make pastas if I have the recipes.
Okay. All right. We're just trying to get a good insight on you, okay? Do you have time for a job with everything that you do?
I did work as a waitress in Gray Eagle during the summer a little bit, but then I was crowned Miss Melrose. So my weekends got a lot busier, and then I had sports during the week too, so I ended up quitting that, and I haven't really looked into another one.
I should bring up Miss Melrose. Did you have a talent competition?
Yeah, we
And,
did.
and so what did you do?
I actually did gymnastics.
Okay, you went flipping on the stage.
Yep.
Okay, was it a good routine?
I guess so, yeah.
All right. Did you stick it?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, you're really good. Let me ask you this. Can you live without your cell phone?
Actually, I think I could.
Really?
This weekend, yeah. At a lot of our meets, our coach takes our phones away just for more of a team bonding kind of atmosphere. So this past weekend, I went the whole weekend without my phone, and I was fine. I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's an accomplishment in itself.
Yeah.
That's very good. So what kind of plans after high school?
I'm planning on going to St. Ben's and for nursing. And then I would like to work at the St. Cloud Hospital, kind of follow my mom's footsteps
All
into
right.
the nursing program.
All right. Looking forward to the softball season?
Yeah, I am. I'm excited.
Yeah, you guys should be okay, shouldn't you?
Yeah, I think so. We have good defense, and hopefully working our offense will help us.
And hopefully this weather holds out because there's so many softball games. Don't you feel it's like half the season is just freezing cold?
Yeah.
And by the time you start to get good at it, it's, it's over.
It's over, yeah,
I
I
know.
think so too.
Well, all right. Well, let me say this about you, Kayla, that it's been great fun watching you play. You provide great entertainment for a lot of people, especially gymnastics.
Thank you.
They certainly do appreciate your talent and your skill, and good luck the rest of the way, okay?
Thank you.
All right, thank you. That's Kayla Austing. She is the Athlete of the Week, presented by Diamond Point in Sauk Center.